Definitely TNC. Because I feel like the way it ended just wasn't like
They
a
do.
natural because of COVID we couldn't
Yeah.
be together, stuff like that. But I think especially of how well we did,
Yeah.
I feel like we could have done better. Yeah, but COVID, so
Hello everyone! We are here at Singapore and sa mga Filipino viewers natin, we'll use English first for this interview since we have here off-laner, former TI runner-up, KP. KP, good day KP.
hello.
Thank you for the opportunity of being interviewed with us.
Thank you for having me.
For our Filipino viewers, guys. So, like what I told you earlier, we usually do our interview on a more subtle topics, right? Because first, you've been around the scene for quite some time, and we really want to hear your story on where it started, right? So, yeah, before we go to that topic, the first question, the traditional question that we're asking here is, how does KP usually spends his day actually on a playing standpoint when you're in boot camp?
So when I'm in boot camp, so I'll just give an example of
Go ahead, yeah.
For boot camp for TI.
Yeah.
So usually, so our call time would usually be around 10. Sometimes it's a bit earlier, 8. But let's say it's 10. So I would probably wake up at 9:30, brush my teeth, wash my face, get ready for the morning.
Yeah.
And then at 10, I would go down because that's our call time, right? And then we all meet up. This is mainly just to keep our sleeping schedule in a good spot.
Yeah.
So we don't want to go to TI having used to waking up at 1 or 2, and that's bad because TI games start at 10. So and then at 10 I would probably order some food. Sometimes I'll queue some pubs. Sometimes I'll watch some replays. Sometimes I'll chill. Sometimes I even go for a run.
Yeah.
It depends every day. And then usually, so if we wake up at 10, then that means our scrims will start at 2. So I'll have from 10 to 2 to play pubs or watch replays or whatever, stuff like that. And then usually scrims will be at 2 and 4.
Okay.
So from 2 to 6 I'll have scrims, and then from 6 to 7 I'll have 1 hour off for dinner.
Yeah.
And then I'll just eat whatever. And then some days we have scrims from 7 to 9.
Okay.
Some days we don't. It depends.
Depends, yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, I would just play more pubs. So
Okay.
from 9 to 12 or 1 maybe. And then
Afterwards, relax, right?
And then I'll probably relax for 1 or 2 hours, and then go to bed.
It's no joke. The schedule of a pro player is no joke.
It's okay.
Need to be on top form, right?
Yeah, I mean since everyone's doing it,
Grinding,
if you don't do it, then you're gonna fall behind.
Understandable. It's funny because if you guys don't know, if you haven't watched the videos yet, Talon's bootcamp is in the Philippines, right?
Yeah.
So I told the Talon guys, since the bootcamp is in the Philippines, it's funny that we met outside the country. Because for us being the Filipino channel, we could have went there easily, right? So, but yeah, I see the bootcamp is really great. It's really big actually.
Yeah. It's nice.
So the support team is also there, which is great. Which is I saw. So, anyways, to begin with, can you give us a quick background on how KP started to play Dota? Because for myself, for the viewers, I think for Australian Dota, before we know Ex Musica, right? So those are the Australian players that we know before. But yeah, how did you started to be hooked with Dota actually?
You mean professionally or just for fun?
The casual, yeah.
So this must have been in high school sometime. So 2006 or 7, I would say.
Is it Dota 1?
Yeah.
Okay, Dota 1.
So back then, there was one time I went to the internet cafe with my cousin.
Okay.
Back in the day, and then I just opened up Warcraft 3, and then initially I just tried the campaign, and then gradually I realized you can click the Battle.net button and go online.
Oh.
And then I went online and made an account, and then I didn't know what it was like, but then I realized there was a list of custom games.
The lobby, yeah.
So I started just randomly joining, randomly playing. and then I figured out it was pretty fun. So then maybe like a week later or like a few days later, me and my dad, I think it was my dad, like he took me to like the shops, and then I just said, "Oh, I want this game." That was Warcraft 3,
Okay.
Frozen 3, and then I just bought it. I went home. Back then, you still have to like put in the CD key,
Yeah.
like the 12 digit or 16.
Yeah,
digit.
12 digit, yeah.
Yeah, and then I put it in. I made an account. I went online and then just started from there. Like I just played a lot of like custom games mainly. Like,
Yeah.
random like tree tag and all that stuff, and then eventually I ran into Dota.
And focus there.
Yeah, and then I actually found it pretty fun. So then, yeah, I just played a lot.
Wow. So really curious because to share with you, I think for most Southeast Asian setup, the tradition is there's multiple internet cafes wherein even if this is an internet cafe and the other one is a different one, it's all connected through LAN.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone created the lobby there, it will be visible in here.
Oh.
So the high school and the college student like us, we go there if we don't have class or even if we have class, we cut our classes to go to the computer shop and play Dota. So for you, it's Battle.net.
I did have some experiences like going to internet cafe after school, but not much. Like I wouldn't say it was a huge part of my life. Like,
Yeah.
Because I could play at home anytime.
Yeah.
So usually after school I would just go home and play anyway.
And play, yeah.
But there are some times where I went to the internet cafe, and then I forgot what we played. Maybe it was just Dota, but it was like not a common.
Yeah. Which game is being played heavily by the teenagers back then in your country in Australia?
Which game?
Yeah.
So for starters, Australia, I feel like the people in Australia, they don't play a lot of games.
Got it.
But the ones that do, I would say,
Counter Strike.
I think Dota is one of the big ones.
Okay. Dota.
Yeah. Like just Warcraft 3.
Yeah, Warcraft 3. Whether it be campaign or Dota, right?
Yeah, mostly just online, like custom games.
Yeah. So, you shared with us how you started. So, what's the point where you told yourself, "Oh, I'm pretty good at this one. I might try out on a team or join some tournaments." Is this Dota 2 or Dota 1 still?
Still Dota 1, so back in Dota 1, internet cafes would have like small tournaments.
Got it.
And then you'd have some teams like locally just play. Back then, I was pretty good, and I just really wanted to play and have fun. Like I didn't really think about money or
future.
I just joined with my friends. We just had like a lot of good times. And then with regards to like pro, then I didn't really think about it that much too. Like at that point, QO, the Korean, he just asked me to like try playing with his team, and I just said yes. So.
Is he in Australia by this time or just online?
He was online.
Okay, got it.
I think he was in Korea back then.
Okay.
But he stayed in Australia for like a long time.
Are we talking Dota 1 still on this one?
No, this is Dota 2.
Dota 1 already.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is like 2015.
Okay, this is the recent ones, right? So the first team competitively you played with Dota 2 is with QO. So you haven't played for the Korean Dota League, right?
No, I haven't.
Okay, it's Febis and QOs who played on that one, right?
Yeah, March and
So, anyways, since we already have talked about the Dota 2, what do you think are the moments or memories you enjoyed playing competitively for like quite some time already? Which memories stood out if you'll be thinking now, actually?
I mean, winning tournaments is always nice.
For sure.
So I would say every tournament win felt really good. And obviously making it to TI finals when we won the upper bracket match. Actually, honestly, I didn't really feel that much. Like, it just kind of happened, and it was like kind of smooth. And it was like, oh, okay, we're top 6. Oh, top 3. Okay, top 2. It just didn't really occur to me. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, oh, let's go. So very excited.
So you're very composed.
Yeah, I think I was. But, yeah.
I think winning games on a playoff stage, I think someone will already like jump through their hearts, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have I've had a few like wins on the like
Yeah.
playoffs. It feels nice.
Question: you've been with different teams before, right?
Mm.
So some Chinese teams and then Southeast Asian squads. So, which do you think wherein you have this concept in mind? Wherein if we run longer, I think this team could have done better things. Which team is that one? Do you think?
Definitely TNC. Because I feel like the way it ended was just wasn't like
They
a
do.
natural like because of COVID we couldn't
Yeah.
be together, stuff like that. But I think especially of how well we did,
Yeah.
I feel like we could have done better. Yeah, but COVID, so
You won Chengdu Major, right?
yeah, we did.
I remember it. As a Filipino fan ourselves, we are very much hurt about that one. It's an immediate, I think it's somewhat of an immediate invite for TI if ever that's the case, right?
Yeah.
During that time. That's the team that we had that we should have rooted for TI, but the thing is, COVID happened. It sucks, but it is what it is, though. But, question, your name really stood out with the newbie run, right? So, what do you think is the main difference between the newbie KP and the current KP now? What's the progress or do you think improvements that happened?
Honestly, I've changed a lot because I feel like back then I was just this like naive little kid that just played like out of instinct and like didn't really think that much.
Yeah.
And just yeah, I feel like now I like well, obviously for any player that's progressed, like you know a lot more concepts, you make more calls, just overall like more knowledge.
Yeah. Got it. I think it comes with time, right?
Yeah.
So there's this branding of KP, I think, outside wherein if you'll be having KP on your offlane, you'll be having a stable offlane, which will be picking Brewmaster, like those heroes, the safe heroes, but cannot really do the Razor offlane or whatever. So is this really something that you master? I think you prefer, or it just doesn't fit the playstyle or of the team? Is it an individual thing, or is it just the team chemistry or composition?
I do like to play like funky heroes like that too.
Oh,
I actually enjoy. So like Razor, like stuff like that.
yeah.
I'm trying to think why we don't really play it. I guess we just didn't really experiment that much.
Got it.
Maybe. But yeah, personally, I do enjoy playing like other random heroes.
Like the flashy ones, right?
Yeah.
Because if we'll be thinking of KP, we will be thinking three heroes. First one is the Nagasiren offlane, right? Next is the Enigma. And then next is Tidehunter, and actually it's four: Tidehunter and Brewmaster. So that are the safest pick actually ever since when you were with Mineski, I think. So if if a team needs a big team fight for their offlane, that's what they're expecting from you.
Yeah. For this tournament, like I feel like the offlane heroes are just kind of similar anyway. Like everyone's just playing Wraith Pact,
Yeah.
playing Zoo. So for this tournament specifically, like
It fits, right?
yeah, we don't see much like other heroes anyway.
So talking about the newbie stuff, I think there's a true sight on that one, right? So we saw that one. We know for a fact that True Sight has been great actually from viewers' perspective. But can you share with us from your True Sight what are the things that wasn't even shown on that one?
I mean, honestly, I don't really remember that much, but I'm sure I've said more than just like a few lines. I mean, True Sight, you have to take it with a grain of salt because obviously when you're painting a picture, right?
Yeah.
then you'll maybe get a more biased view in terms of like, for the winners, maybe they'll paint them or like get
Triumphant, right?
yeah, and then they'll try and like get the clips that are like show that they're very positive, but for the losers maybe they try and get clips that show that they're a bit more negative.
The villain.
Yeah, so it's kind of like natural, but just trying to say that there's more to it, obviously.
Got it. I think it showed evidently on the Kiev Major 2 site with VP and OG, right? So really, VP was elevated as the villain, wherein OG was elevated as the protagonist, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, it is what it is. Good thing that you were able to said and share that one, because for us, on a viewer perspective, True Sight is a great stuff for us to see in depth on what's happening, even on the grand final scale, right? So it's really great for us. Anyways, being able to play on different regions, how do you think different regions' style of playing differs from one another
Playing.
on different regions? Yeah,
Um,
like China and
I'll
South.
just compare China and see.
Yeah, China and C.
Well, China, I think it's like much more disciplined. You have like steps that you take.
Yeah.
Everything is like kind of structured. You follow this plan. But for C, it's a bit more like YOLO. They're still disciplined at times, but in general, it's a bit more like free.
Yeah,
You can kind of do whatever you want.
skill dependent.
Yes, and also in C, you don't have like a few guys that direct the team and be like you'd have to do this, stuff like that. But in China, it's more like you'll have a guy that
So I think before we go, we have this fun segment wherein we fulfill the viewers' questions. Okay, so for our first question is, who do you think? Two questions. It's first is worldwide, then second is for Southeast Asia, since you've been playing here for quite some time already, right? So for international, who do you think is the best 1 to 5 for you
currently or all time.
currently?
Currently,
Yeah.
this one kind of put me on the spot.
Wow. It's a perspective though. If you think someone is great, on your opinion, that's great. I think we can start in position 1.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Can't really think of one. Wait.
Is it pretty like near one
Yeah,
another?
Everyone's pretty close.
Yeah. Who do you have in mind? Like the 2 or 3 for that position?
I'm just thinking of like the last 4 in TI, but no one that really stands out.
Stands out, yeah. To give you an idea, others are saying it's still Miracle, even though he's not in TI. Others are saying it's the stability of Pakas, because he's really been great in TI as a carry.
Yeah, he's good. Shit.
Or should we do the mid first? Mid to...
Okay, we can go to mid first.
Yeah.
Mid. I mean, everyone's gonna say Nisha.
Yeah. What for you, it's...
I'll just say Nisha as well then.
Okay, got it. Safe. Yeah. For the off lane, aside from you,
33.
33, yeah. Tundra. And then the position 4, it's...
Saksa. I think
Oh, wow.
they come as a combo.
They complement, yeah. Then for position 5,
Position 5. Viposhka.
okay.
And then
Team Spirit.
position 1.
It's really close.
This one's hard, I don't know why.
Throw name out there.
Okay, I'll just say Pakas.
Yeah, Pakas. Really great, right?
Yeah, he's good. But
He break out this TI, right? Really great as well, actually. But after that question, I usually ask like region wise as well. But I understand that given it's TI and this is region, so I think I must leave it at that, right? So my second question is, who do you think for KP was the greatest of all time for Dota?
For Dota, if I see this guy and I'll be like, he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Ooh. This one's really hard
It's close. It's close between.
because you can't even be like taking the guy who has the most achievements. Even if I say it like that, I don't think that's necessarily true.
Everyone has their own perspective with regards to goat ish topic. For you, which do you heavily cling into with regard to that one? Is it achievements? Is it longevity?
I think it's just, for me, a GOAT is when you say this name and you think, oh yeah, he was the actual best at this
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
You know, like, because with Dota, like, when you're talking about like high skill or like best, in Dota it's different to like, for example, basketball, because Dota position 1, position 2,
Different position.
they're more like flashy, they more like require higher skill
Got it.
ceiling. But for like pos 5s, you can't really see what they do
Yeah.
because a lot of it is shot calling, preparing a team, you know, talking with your team, like watching replays, stuff like that
Got it,
we don't
got it.
see, right? So
Yeah.
honestly, viewers, we only ever see like
That's the mechanical skills, right?
mechanical skills.
Yeah,
And usually that shows more in pos 1 and 2, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
But for you personally, who do you think for you is your goat? There's no correct answer in this one, right?
I'll just say I don't know, I'll just say Miracle.
Miracle.
Yeah.
Got it, got it.
I don't even think it's necessarily true for me. I just
For
I can't
you,
think of another one.
it's personally, yeah.
Yeah,
Personally.
I can't think of another one.
Yeah,
I mean, I would say maybe like Puppy No Tail, something like that.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, Seb is pretty good too.
Yeah.
I think,
So it's close between the four of them, right?
yeah, something like that.
Anyways, I think others saying Papi, others saying it's Seb and No Tail. So it's really close actually.
Yeah.
But moving forward to the last few questions, you've been playing for how many years already, competitively?
Since 2015.
2015.
So 7 years.
7 years. So compared to like athlete or other profession, the lifespan of a Dota player is really small, right?
Mm.
So except for Poppy. Poppy has been playing for quite some time already, right? But majority of them are like after 5 to 10 years they already stop playing, right? Competitively because they see their performance declining. So for KP, where do you see yourself after the playing career? Actually,
I haven't really thought about it that much, but I think there's like still a lot of things I can do,
got it.
like within the scene, like just for example, like maybe coaching, maybe like casting, maybe streaming.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's something that players probably should think about, but we don't really because we just want to focus on playing good.
Yeah.
That's it. So I haven't really thought about it like that much.
Yeah. I think that's the obvious option, right? Because the value or info or knowledge that you can put it on coaching and then casting is really superb because you've been performing on the high tier level for quite some time, right? So for my last question, with the development from Valve having the battle pass on 2 different seasons, one is for TI and one's after TI, right? And then with Valve's update like days ago, yesterday about the new battle Free Arcana, everyone's coming back to Dota. So are there any tips or advice that you would like to give for those who would like to try hard as a pro or come in as a pro?
I mean, it's really simple. You just have to grind. That's pretty much it. You just have to. Are you talking about like a new player?
A new player, yeah.
Yeah, you just have to grind. You just have to play like 10 at least a day. I think that's not even the most important. Like the most important is you have to have fun playing.
Got it.
And you have to have fun playing by yourself as well.
Yeah.
Because you can't rely on like party queuing and playing with your friends.
Great teammates, yeah.
Yeah. You have to really be solo queuing, and you have to really be enjoying it.
Yeah.
So if you play a lot of solo queue,
Yeah.
and you really enjoy it, and you see yourself like getting like steadily better and you're climbing, then that's like a good recipe already.
Yeah.
And then the end game probably is to get like top 100.
Yeah.
If you get top 100, it shouldn't be a problem to find a team.
Got it.
Even if it's like a T2, T3,
You'll be scouted already.
you'll probably find something.
Got it.
So that's my advice. Just play a lot, and if you don't enjoy it, it's probably not for you.
You'll see it by then, right?
Yeah.
So the last question, you've been playing in Southeast Asia with scrims and pubs. What is the worst experience that you gone through on a C pub, and how do you deal with those kinds of moments?
I mean, I would say my worst experience is just game ruining, but doesn't just happen in C. So
It's everything, yeah.
yeah,
It's everywhere.
For example, people running down mid.
Yeah. But for you personally, what's the most irritated moment that you experience in C? Like a sniper going mid and feeding?
Oh no, my most frustrating moments would just be like people running down mid, like
Okay.
it just plus 30, minus 30, just like that. It's like wasting time, or like giving up like 15 minutes in, just like and
Yeah.
that's
Giving up.
yeah.
Yeah. How do you deal with that kind of...
You don't. You just alright. Go in. GG. Go next. You just like,
You don't rage. You don't rage.
because they're probably already running down, or like they probably already destroyed the items. So it's like
Pointless to argue.
yeah, just avoid and go next.
You're accustomed to it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed our quick interview with KV, and we would like to give huge thanks and props to the Talon Esports management for giving this our opportunity. And yeah, I think you can do the same stuff. You subscribe to our channel for more Dota update, not only for our Filipino audience, but as well as for our global audience. This has been Kuya Nick. KP, we would like to thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And good luck on the next TPC season. Looking forward to that one.
Thank you.
Thank you guys, and see you on the next video.
Bye.